Hi, manifestors. I'm Meera Allen with your Manifesting Destiny little Joe Dispenza moment that I'm having today. I sometimes get asked about my energy and how do I have so much energy, and I dance a lot and I have late nights and I get up early in the morning. And if you're wondering, that's my microphone just balancing on my knee over here, because I'm going to have a little bit of story time with you. This is from page 155 from Dr. Joe Dispenza's Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Did that work? And it's probably one of the answers that I'd say why I have so much energy. Anyway, I'll just go for it. A different midlife, a time for facing feelings and letting go of illusions. At this time of our life, other people who don't strive to keep up their feelings buried, they will ask the big questions. Who am I? What is my purpose in life? Where do I go when I die? Where am I going? Who am I doing all this for? What is God? Is there more to life than success? What is happiness? What does all this mean? What is love? Do I love myself? Do I love anyone else? And then the soul begins to wake up. These types of questions begin to occupy the mind because we see through the illusion and suspect that nothing outside of us can ever make us happy. Some of us ultimately realize that nothing in this environment is going to fix the way we feel. We also recognize the enormous amount of energy it takes to keep up this projection or self image to the world, and how exhausting it is to keep the mind and body constantly preoccupied. Eventually, we come to see that our futile attempt to maintain an ideal for others is really a strategy to make sure that those impeding feelings we've been running from never capture us. How long can we juggle, keeping so many balls in the air, just so our lives don't come crashing down? Instead of buying a bigger TV or the latest smartphone, these people stop running. They stop running from the feeling that they've been trying to make go away for so long. Instead, they face it head on and intently look at it. When this happens, the individual begins to wake up. After some self reflection, she discovers who she really is, or he discovers who he really is. What she's been hiding, what no longer is working for her, and she lets go of the facade, the games, and the illusions. She's honest about who she is, who she really is, at all costs, and she's not afraid to lose it all. This person stops expending the energy they had been putting into keeping an illusionary image intact. She gets in touch with her feelings and then turns to people in her life and says, you know what? It doesn't matter if I don't make you happy any longer. I'm through obsessing about how I look or what other people think of me. I'm finished living for everyone else. I want to be free of these chains. This is a profound moment in a person's life. The soul is waking up and nudging her to tell the truth about who she really is. The lie is over. Change and our relationships and breaking the ties that bind. So Dr. Joe goes on to talk about breaking emotional bonds that are keeping people from suffering, blaming, and in victim mode. And it goes on deeper about using energy and emotion as energy is emotion because it's energy in motion. And I have to say, I completely live by that. And I have personally these existential crises, very often. And they're getting shorter and shorter and shorter, the little gap between those existential crises and my actual existence. So, for example, I think about Halloween, this veil of where people start to think about death and life and the dark side and all that kind of thing. I think about that so regularly since I'm little that it's become the normal way of thinking that if I'm no longer a body and I'm dead, what does my energy feel like? How do I tune into that? Whether I do it through a yoga practice or whether I do it with my eyes closed when I'm dancing, like I don't care what other people are thinking of me I don't care about the three-dimensional mirror in the world. I'm becoming one with that energy, emotion that's sustaining my life force, whether my physical form is there or whether my physical form is not there. That energy and that life force or soul is always eternally there. And so tuning into that gives me so much energy, because it no longer matters that I've only had 3-4 hours sleep. It no longer matters that I'm getting up at 5:30 to be at a 6 a.m. yoga class, but I fell asleep at 1 a.m. I'm not saying to everyone go have no sleep. I'm just saying that if you're tuning purely into energy, pure energy, the essence that created your actual soul for so long before you were even born in the physical form, this will sustain your life path. And by asking those questions, who am I? What am I doing here? What is my dharma purpose? What is my journey in this world? Who do I exist as a person? What does this mean? What is this energetic thing, vessel that I'm in? If you start asking these questions and expanding those possibilities up in your own consciousness, the illusionary veil of this 3D world seems very basic, because it is very basic. And the manifesting and creating the dream lives, and yes, all that is there in the 3D form. But it's still also playing in the 3D illusionary world, which we call Maya in the yogic way of philosophies and Eastern way of looking at it. So happy Halloween. I went a little bit esoteric, but I just gifted my friend this book yesterday, and I really felt called to answer that question of, why do I have so much energy? And Halloween reminded me of why, is because I constantly don't think of myself as a living human person. I constantly shorten that gap of feeling what it's like when I'm dead. And it feels energetic. That may sound like an oxymoron, but tune into your life force energy if you did not have a physical body left. And this will help sustain your energy. And I know that has worked for me, but I've just done it sort of subconsciously. I forget the difference sometimes between the living human body as a physical vessel and the soul energy as a expansive, energetic presence that is beyond this lifetime of this simple body form. So anyway, hope that helped you with your manifesting and opens up some expansive spaces in you, and you could hear me all right with my microphone balancing on my knee. Happy Halloween. Expand your consciousness around life and death and that lucid in between and your dreaming. And I'll be back with a full moon in Taurus video in a few days. Namaste.